the hell are you doing, Kev?
Cutting Nick's hood the wrong way.
That's okay. There's tons of 84 Mercury Capri RS hoods
I see them
around.
everywhere.
I tripped over 4 of them this week. I know it's been a while. The deadline of April 1st to have it running.
Yeah. Yep.
If you guys obviously follow the channel, you'll see the short video I posted up of the car actually running. It actually fired up on the 29th, I believe. But yeah, there were some major things we got done. We got them banged out. You'll see we got a set of seats in there now. Oh yeah, the hood cut and the hood actually fits. And I think with that 82 hood scoop that you see here, I think it'll cover up most of the issue there. So we got that going. Did get some seats. I found some 93 tweed seats, which was like a unicorn at this point. We got most of the dashboard installed. Pretty much all the dashboard installed. It's just that kick panel. It's the one thing I didn't want to attack yet. But I'm gonna get this car up in the air, show you guys the exhaust. We got a set pinion angle, and then we're gonna try to roll around. But yeah, it's amazing. What do you think, buddy?
It's fun.
We got lights now. So I had an issue there too under the dash. Did you just flash me? Bad girl. We had an issue under the dashboard finding broken wire. You know, just all the years of neglect. But I did find a broken wire and was able to fix that. I'm just super excited. I'll show you guys underneath the car now and where we're at. We're registered too, by the way. But we're gonna roll today, I promise. First thing we'll go through, we'll go right from the rear of the car and go all the way to the front. You see the 3-inch Flowmaster tips that we went with. You guys remember from one of the first videos, we cleaned up the tank, and I used the Holley 525 intake setup for a Fox. Coming to the rear end, we just got a normal SI95 8.8 disc brakes in the rear with some 373s, little girdle there. We got a set pinion angle momentarily. We'll get that sorted. Me and Kevin are gonna get the pinion angle set, get everything tight back here so we can hit the road. What with these MagnaFlow mufflers here, because I really liked the quietness, and they did have a rasp to them when you got on it, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, they just I never really liked the crazy loud car. It wasn't my thing. But yeah, we went with these, and they seem to be working. Some flow tubes I had to kind of mock up, make work. Obviously, we went with the 6-speed, the 03 Cobra 6-speed, 26 spline input shaft, and some work done to it. So I got the Stifler crossmember for the swap. Well, with the 1 7/8 American Racing headers and the 3-inch X-pipe, none of this worked. And when you buy it specifically for the car, it's kind of a letdown. But I had to, me, my brother Steve, and Kevin, we came in here and kind of redesigned the crossmember, cleaned it all up, put paint on it. If you guys are wondering what mount works really well for this too, it's an SVO 85 2.3 turbo SVO mount. I put the tranny ideally where I wanted it to be, with enough floor space, nothing hits, nothing contacts. That worked out quite well. Went with the McLeod RXT twin disc clutch, adjustable pivot ball here for the clutch adjustment, and that pretty much sorts out, MGW shifter up top, that pretty much sorts out the tranny. And like I said, these beautiful 1 7/8 American Racing headers needed some modification, but we got all that done. As far as the engine, it's an 03 Cobra rod, piston, crank, Texan block. So you take a little bit of weight off the front end with the aluminum block. And a set of heads, cleaned up and done by Rad Cylinder Head here in my area. Did great work. We upgraded springs for future cam stuff. Yeah, I got some trick flow tappets in there. They're noisy, but they quiet down once the car warms up. No issues. Full suspension from UPR, K-member, A-arms, coilover kit. All that really made the car come together nice and clean. And we went with actually an 03 Cobra rack with Foxbody inner and outer tie rods, the bump steer kit there. That seemed to work. And that seems to be doing the job. I still got to get it aligned, but I want to get it on the ground rolling. Kevin did a good job in here with the intercooler lines, kind of resembling how they laid out in the 03 Cobra, and he got everything to pretty much follow the path that it wants to be. Nothing really kinked, no hard bends. We have our intercooler pump mounted here, wired up to a relay via the Holly, so that kicks that on anything above 400 RPM. And we just have a Fluid 9 3-core intercooler in there for the supercharger, aftermarket radiator, and stock O3 fans, Hydro Boost. Just tried to keep it as neat as possible. I'm grateful that everything came together and worked out. And it's been a long time coming. I've had the plans to do this to this car for I don't know how long. To see it sitting here like this is just mind-blowing. If you guys follow my Instagram, I just did a post, you know. I had this, last time I had this car on the road was 2007, and now just to see it like this is unreal. Rolling, it's about to take a drive for the first time in 15 years. It's pretty cool, pretty great, pretty grateful today. How is it? Yeah, it's clearly telling he's in alignment.
It's strange to drive an older car that shifts so nice with every corner.
Yeah.
The only thing old is the shell.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And the owner. It's out in the daylight. It's on its own wheels. Kev took it for a drive under its own power. So we know we need an alignment, right?
Yep. It's not terrible, but it needs it.
One of the tappets is a little noisy. Or it could be the blower. You know, these Whipples sometimes notorious for noise, and they can sound like a cement mixer. But I think it's a tappet. I haven't really been able to lay into the car and get oil pressure to skyrocket. I did have heavier springs on these heads, so one of the lash adjusters is just bleeding down, essentially, is what I think. And that's okay. You know, I know the bottom end is together quite well. But there we are, guys. I mean, I know I said it, I dreamed it, I thought about it. My 84 Capri, back on the road from beginning to the end. There's still many things to do. We have to get it aligned. Some paint, but I'll probably Mad Max it around for this year because the pocket's tight after this build. I do have a new T-top door to go on in the closet. I may slap that on at some point and just shoot that primer black. But man, I can't believe it. It's all together and running. I'm so grateful. Just really grateful. Near the end of the build so far, I start to think about some of the things we ran into problems with, and not necessarily, you know, I pulled the short block out of an older Lincoln, so I had the textured block, and I had to outsource the rotating assembly that I was going to put in it. That wasn't a big deal. I had some friends come through and help me. Nick Panico at Blue Auto Parts was a big help, and you know, we put the lower end together at Kevin's shop, and like I said, Rad did my cylinder heads. They were the DC casting, I believe, which was the last casting you get for the 4-valve heads. You know, nine thread spark plugs, and some of those certain issues, the guide issues, were taken care of. But they went through the heads and gave me a set of springs and retainers, and went through everything, decked them, and cleaned everything up. So that kind of took care of as far as the long block cams. I went with a set of 98 Cobra cams and just put them in straight up for now. And again, my buddy Nick Panico came through with the Whipple and a bunch of other miscellaneous parts. He really helped. But as far as like the real trouble was the 1 7/8 long tube headers, making room for all of that in a car that should not have the room for it, and the steering shaft and the cross member. Jumping those hurdles was a big thing. You know, putting the 03 Cobra powertrain and the 6-speed and the disc brake rear end and the Holly system and the fuel system is great. But on top of that, the original issue was having a car that was just a shell for the last 15 years without doing anything to it. This car had no dashboard, no floors, no interior panels, nothing. So it was just a bare roller. And you know, to be able to get everything to somewhat work, I'm thrilled. I'm super happy, and I'm grateful that I'm at this point instead of giving up and and saying it's too much, because I knew this is the vision I had. I wanted to change the interior to black. I wanted the mod motor. I wanted the Whipple. This is what I wanted to do, and now it's here and done. And it ain't easy, but I think if you love something enough and you're passionate about it and you set your mind to it, you can do anything. You know, there were some nights here where I was here at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, screaming and swearing, K-member on the ground, headers off, headers back on, and, you know, adjusting. I must have adjusted the clutch pivot ball about 5 times, putting that T56 in and out, just getting everything right. And then you turn the key and you hope everything works. And we're at a point now where we have something to work with. Kevin, my best friend, I couldn't have done this one without you. You, my buddy Steve, my boss Don really helped out. And, you know, thanks to Don, too, for letting me use the shop. We're an LS shop here in Bridgewater, Mass., and we don't do Fords, but he took some mercy on me and let me bring my car here. And in 2 months, I basically took a rolling chassis. And, you know, it still needs paint, but I basically took it and rebuilt everything. New interior all throughout, thanks to LMR. New wiring, gauges, center console. Every piece is in, seats are back in, everything's solid, everything's working. And it was just a labor of love, and I'm super happy. So there'll be more on this car, but I want to move on to other things. I want to eventually get the tune worked on this thing, tuned in, dynoed. I want to get a good alignment on it. I just want to drive it around and take it to some car shows the way it is. I want, you know, I like the look of it being ratty, and then you pop the hood and that's living under there. You know, that's really cool, really fun. And I appreciate all you guys, you know, sticking with us. What was some of the more pain in the ass things you had to deal with putting this together?
Besides you.
And I'm paying them too.
Yeah. No, it was just the exhaust. I think was your biggest hurdle, making all that fit. One of the biggest hurdles.
Yeah.
Was the exhaust.
Yeah,
those just huge.
Those header bolts. I don't recommend them to anybody. You know, they just suck on the 4 valves. But like I said, you just bear down. You have to do it. But yeah, man, I'm just amazed. I'm amazed it runs. I really thank you. Thank you for your help. You know, we're working on his Dodge. He's got a '79 Dodge D100. It's been on the channel before. We got some cool things going on with that. And I think, you know, him and I, we're similar in age, and he's way older than I am, but we're both family guys. We work, you know, 50, 60 hours a week. And then on the weekends, we just want to go to car shows and have a good time. And I think that's the goal for this year. Do more fun stuff that, you know,
hopefully
doesn't, yeah, God willing. This world is crazy. And if you can find some stuff to keep your mind right and keep you happy, it's well worth it. I know I'm happy with this build. So thank you guys. Thanks everybody for you know, checking out the channel and subscribing and sharing and liking. It's been a lot of fun. We got more projects coming. Don't want to let the cat out of the bag too soon, but stay tuned for a video coming real soon with one more project in the works. And it's not the end of this 84 RS Capri with the Terminator swap. It's just the beginning. This was the biggest hurdle, was getting it to run and move on its own power, and it does. And I'm stoked. Just a side note for you guys too, the door chime is just as annoying now in 2022 as it was in 1984. Do I regret hooking it up? No, it's great because I had it made everything work, but what a pain in the ass. So again, guys, as I take one more cruise in the car before I put it away for the night, I'm super stoked. I can't wait to clean up the tune and get some numbers on this thing. Sorry, I'm just filming on my phone. But yeah, man, just goes to show you, if you think about it long enough and you dream it, it can happen. You just got to put your foot down and make it happen. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it, because you can. We'll talk soon. Peace.